the companies that are not doing that within our niche, they're gonna be left behind.
That's the thing. Those companies are getting left behind.
They are
within our niche, because if you just compare apples to apples, it's not even close.
And I know today's topic is gonna be about technology and just AI. I know it first started with, I think maybe 2 years ago, with ChatGPT and OpenAI.
Like I think late 2022.
Yeah, that's when everyone first heard about it with ChatGPT 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember you showed it to me because I think it was a channel, Cold Fusion, on YouTube.
Oh yeah, like the videos of like how much technology was advancing, and then how like a lot of people were scared of like AI, but also excited about the innovations.
Yeah, and so it was recent. It was in 2022.
I remember
2022.
Late 22, because going into 2023 we already had that mindset of, okay, let's use AI.
Yeah.
And now in 2024 it's gotten so much better than when it came, like, quote unquote, came out.
Yeah, and just to pretty much summarize everything, since then, I know we started with ChatGPT 3.
Yep.
OpenAI, and moved on to ChatGPT 4. I use it a lot. I use it every single day. And then I know with that, we started using other AI. Because I know since ChatGPT 3 came out, a lot of companies started using AI, and we started implementing it in our business, like a lot. And it saved us a lot of time. It saved us resources. And I think right now, it'll be good to discuss some of the things that you've done with AI, and then some of the things we implemented in the business.
ChatGPT is definitely one of the ones that has helped, I think, the entirety of the business around. Because it's like asking someone that knows everything a question.
Yep.
And they're able to answer it.
Yep.
And extremely well.
Yep.
So it's like having that someone that knows everything. And so that's been really helpful when it comes, I know, to the scripting, but I know you'll talk about that. When it comes to, for example, me, when I write ads, like at least having a starting point for the copy, like the title of the ad, the description of the ad, it's a place to start, and then just different things like that. And then I know one of the most recent one was the remove.bg, which one of our main activities or tasks within like the design team, it's editing images.
Yep.
And so what that program did, it eliminated a lot of labor. So for example, we used to edit 10 images, an example. To edit a particular thing of that image took 10 minutes each image. So 10 images, 15 minutes, that's 150 minutes. That's 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
With that program, we just submit that picture. It does whatever it needs to do, and it spits it back out within 5 seconds. So those 10 images that we originally took us 2.5 hours to do, now it only takes us like a minute.
Yeah.
And so it freaking killed it, dude.
Dude, just imagine 2 hours, and then per week, that's 2 times 5, that's 10 hours.
2.5 hours, so that's more like 12 and a half hours.
That's a part-time job.
That's a part-timer that we didn't have to hire.
Yep.
And we only pay $40 a month.
Or a freelancer.
And then that's one of the things that I think why people were scared of AI is because it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs. It already eliminated that potential job that we would have need to hire to do those images.
Yeah, especially because I know we're scaling up in the things that we're going to be coming out with.
Yeah.
And I know for us to, back then before the one of the AIs you found, which is the Image BB. For us to scale, we were considering hiring someone else, or maybe giving more time, overtime and whatnot. And I know with that, now we're able to scale.
Yeah, and that comes with embracing technology and change. Because if we were just so like, you know what, we're people, we're humans, let's use the people, which I understand, which we are still of sort of that mentality where people are the most important thing. But if we would have just stayed with that mentality of, we're not going to embrace change or technology, we wouldn't need to hire, more payroll, workers' comp, and all that entails, benefits. And then that would have limited the growth. And so now using AI for a fraction of the cost is going to allow us to scale and then hire more people as a result of that.
Yeah, because I want to touch up on something. I know you mentioned that it was pretty much back in the day with, what is it called? The revolutionary? The
industrial revolution?
The industrial revolution, that people started using heavy machinery, so now people weren't needed. So I want to touch up on that. But I know on that side, there's people that have more experience that know the ins and outs on how to use it with media. But at least for me, the way I use it is when I need to come up with the title. Well, not a title, but I need to come up with ideas. So like if it's a certain topic, You could, just do the most generic basic thing, which is, give me 10 ideas based on this topic. But there's people who teach you how to use ChatGPT, and the way I was taught is pretty much like, if you're gonna do videos for people working in the farms, you ask ChatGPT what are the most common problems that these people face. It gives you a list, and then you just ask it again, give me 30 video ideas based on this topic. And now you have a whole bunch of ideas. And, before, instead of having to do research, having to, go back and forth, spending 3-4 hours having to, just think of a topic. And now it saves you that time. Now you're able to put all your effort in, okay, let me make the best video based on these topics. So it saved us time. And I know right now we're using, we just recently found out one AI company that does dubs, voiceovers. And I know we're going to focus on that because we have a whole bunch of videos, installation videos on the YouTube channel. And so now it's going to open us a market into the Spanish speaking market just by dubbing. And, before you had to hire a company to do the dubbing for you, and it was expensive and it took quite a bit of time. So now, like, with technology, with AI coming in, it saves us a lot of time.
Definitely.
And that's one of the things. It's just going to be getting better, because I know some of the things we're using right now we didn't use a year ago because they sucked.
Yeah, they kind of did.
People were still better than what these AI companies were coming out with, but like within a year it just advanced like a lot. Because I know, remember, I don't know if I showed you, but OpenAI is coming out with a video thing where I think it's called Sora, where it's able to create text to video. Oh, yeah, so you pretty much tell it, I want you to create of, 2 golden retrievers in the snow playing around. And it does it like, it looks so realistic, like really realistic. And a year ago, 2 years ago, like it looked like crap.
Right.
Yeah, so it looked bad. And I know like it's just going to get better within the next 6 months, within the next year. And I know a lot of companies are going to start doing that. And because of that, they're going to be able to produce more output. And so, yeah, I think it's just more than anything embracing technology.
Yeah, which we've seen that. Now we like the time saved with AI and the improvements that it made in like within the design team or pretty much within the company. That allows us and is allowing us to have more output. Like, for example, we're planning to bring on another category, and now it's possible. We don't have to hire someone else to be able to do whether it be the images or any of this. So now, like, that's AI is something that's really helping us when it comes to productivity.
Yep.
And then one of the things, like, probably those jobs that AI can do, like, they won't get hired, but it's gonna open up the possibility for other positions that we do because of just the increase. And so, like, I do in the same way, like, I know you said you wanted to touch up on certain things, but in the same way how people didn't have to manually do like laborious stuff.
Yep.
It's just that the responsibilities or the job duties changed and shifted as to not having to do like the laborious and manual and dangerous stuff. And now that equipment does it, and so, but then they changed the positions, and so I know it can be scary.
It is scary.
It is, because especially if you're in one of those positions where AI is replacing you. Like, for example, in the images editing, the background though, if you're kind of like, let's say you used to do that, or pretty much in just editing in general. Especially video editors.
Yep.
I think we're gonna have to build more skills in order to be able to, continue living. Especially if we want like a successful life, or with generating income. Yep. Definitely, we're gonna have to add skills to our plates.
So it's generally good on the business end, but I know there's also some dangers, and I know people are gonna use it because it is scary, dude. Yep. The way it's advancing, like I told you a year ago, like the way text to speech. It was terrible. I remember I saw Will Smith's video of him eating noodles. It looked like a video game. Like, it looked terrible. But now it's so realistic. Like, I seen some demo videos where there's, you write, I want to see a woman on a train, recording. It spits it out perfect. It's like it's a movie. And then it gets the reflection good. It gets everything so perfect. And that's why it's also scary, because I know, going outside business and whatnot, using it in real life, I know people are going to start doing deep fakes. And that's why it's scary on that end. So it's just interesting how it's going to develop, especially just talking about AI, not talking about technology, but AI. Because I know a lot of people could do good. Like for us, like we're cutting down a lot of the things that AI could do, and it's allowing us to be more productive and getting out more output, and it's just going to accelerate our growth. And the companies that are not doing that within our niche, they're gonna be left behind.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing. Those companies are getting left behind.
They are
within our niche, because if you just compare apples to apples, it's not even close, dude, to what like the output that we're having when it comes to the new products and new category. It's not even. I think we have more than all of the companies combined.
Yep.
It's and then more than double of that.
Yep.
It's crazy, dude.
I know we're going off track, but just looking at us, and I don't know, maybe it's tooting our own horn, but looking at it from the outside perspective, we're coming out with 3 installation videos a day, 3 to 4. We're coming out with new products. What is it, like 4 or 5 a day?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like looking at it from an outside perspective, because I know some companies, they take weeks. They take like a week to come out with, one product, to be able to list it on the marketplaces, to take the measurements and whatnot. Also, to do installation videos, it takes a while.
Yep.
And we got it down to a system like that. We're able to do it consistently, day in, day out, week after week. And especially with AI and, with technology, it's just going to double it. It's going to triple it. So they first had to catch up to what we were doing without technology. Now that we're using technology and AI, they're not going to catch up.
No, I see it very hard. Very hard.
At least right now, there's no stopping AI. There's no stopping technology unless, government or, companies decide that, okay, this is a little too risky.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just stop it, or let's just end it, or just... I don't know if they can't even stop it.
Yeah, I think people are going to... and even if you choose to stop it yourself, I think people are still going to be using it.
Yeah.
And then because other people are using it around you, and then they're still getting way ahead of you, I think that's going to force pretty much people to continue using it. Mm-hmm.
But that's on the good end. The other scary part, because that's scary good.
Yeah.
What we're doing with the company, it's scary good. But then the scary bad that I see, which a lot of people have brought up, is that, deep fakes are going to start coming out. I think right now, in high school, deep fakes are coming out of women, like being shown in videos, and they get bullied for it. Right. And me, in the future, having kids, having a daughter, it's like, I don't want that to happen. And so that's the scary side. Like, even right now, with the text to speech, I could say, Alexis was, Alexis holding a weapon, or Alexis, going into a store and taking clothes, and it's going to spit it out perfectly. Okay, now this is evidence. Now I'm here in the video. This is evidence proof. On the flip side, I have evidence showing that maybe I didn't commit something, or I wasn't there. I had an alibi. Hey, by the way, you could have used AI. So now it's going to be a little bit harder on that end. People always use it for good. People also tend to use it for their own personal needs and desires, especially with the deepfakes. And having children, having daughter, it's gonna, that's where I see, like, okay, there has to be some control.
And I think there's a lot of people that are fighting for government's like intervention with it. Elon Musk is one of the biggest proponents, because I think he does see the negative effects, or like the repercussions of having AI just do its own thing. So I know there's a lot of people pushing for the regulations, and I think it does make sense. I know it's technology and it's a free market. We live in the United States, but at the same time, I think that is kind of like a nuclear weapon. Yeah, like it kind of does need to be managed, or at least the risk needs to be mitigated. Yep. Because it could be very good, but at the same time very dangerous.
Yeah, because not everyone can own nuclear weapons.
Yeah. Yep. Regulations. Yep.
Regulations, or there should be some type of penalty. Like if you use it for your own personal needs that affects and harms people, at least like have some, what is it called? Some penalties or something
like stealing, right? Like, because you're benefiting yourself, but you're affecting other people. So like stealing, kind of similar to that.
Stealing, or just like deepfakes.
Right, and so I guess I was giving the comparison. So like in the same way that stealing.
Oh yeah.
Like something similar to like for example, if you deepfakes and affect someone, in the same way like that, you still like having repercussions for that, consequences.
100%.
Yeah,
and that's gonna prevent people from actually starting to do it. Just off topic, if you want to start a business, you could do it with AI 100%. You just tell it, if you're interested in something, you could. There's people that tell you how to ask the right questions for you to get correct or detailed responses. But you could start a business with AI. You know, like what markets are, you know, in need of this service? How can I go about it? Write me a script for a customer, and then you just tailor it to your needs. So you could make a lot of money with AI.
Yeah, and then one of the things that as you were talking, it kind of reminded me, or it kind of made me realize, is companies like Upwork, Fiverr, I feel like they're going to suffer because of AI.
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies, a lot of people are now going to be using AI as opposed to going through Fiverr and all those things. But even then, as you were talking, it also remembered or helped me remember kind of what some of the people do. You know how some people go to Fiverr and Upwork?
Yep.
And they ask them, you know, translate this, or, you know, different tasks, edit this image. A lot of people do arbitrage where they use AI to do those tasks, and then they charge the people.
Yep.
And so they, you know, they arbitrage that.
Yep.
And so that's a business idea. But
yeah.
So like so I guess just to how that business works, or how that arbitrage works, is you sign yourself up for Fiverr, and you're, let's say you're an image editor or you're a video editor, and then people inquire about your services. You know, let's say they pay you, they ask you to do a task, you just put it through AI, it spits it back out, and you give it back to the consumer.
Yep.
And so let's say you charge $20, AI, what, it costs you a fraction of that?
Yep.
And so you let's say it costs you $1 as an example.
Yep.
You make $19.
Yep.
And so that's arbitrage. And in the same way that we arbitrage physical products, like on Amazon, like people buy it for $5 and they sell it for $20 on Amazon. Similarly, they could do that on Fiverr, Upwork.
Yep.
So that's a business idea.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it's sustainable, but that's something that people are doing.
Yeah, not just that, because if you see how AI is progressing, you yourself could become an expert. You could title yourself an AI expert, know all AI products, and you know all the different services that these companies are coming out with. Just make yourself an AI expert. Go to a company. Hey, I'm an AI expert. I could cut down your labor. I could cut down your operations. I could, you know, make your flow a lot better. And, you know, you just need one person for that. And I know you could get paid really well. Because I know companies, if you're able to do that, save them a lot of money. It just makes sense for them to get you, to hire you.
Yep.
100%. So that's another way. I know those positions are going to start coming up. And I think my final thought is that AI is here to stay. It's just going to get better. For companies, if you're not using it, you're going to get left behind by other companies. Like, you know, for example, us, we're using it. We're leaving people in our niche behind by a lot.
Yeah.
So use it. If you're a business, use it, because it's just going to help you. And I know on the other flip side is that there's also some consequences or some negatives that if people decide to be assholes and use it for their own purposes or to harm other people, like, yeah, it can be bad. So, you know, we still have to see that side. But until, you know, until there's any regulations, until there's any stop to it, just embrace technology, because if you don't embrace it, then you're going to be left behind.
In the same way, like, just imagine, like, people back then, horses, they used to be on horses, and there's cars. You don't want to use cars. Yeah. Like, it's kind of impossible or very hard to live a life like that where you don't use or you don't embrace change or technology. It's going to be very, very hard, I think, to live life that way. Yep. Similarly, like iPhone. I don't want to use a phone. I like the old school, just calling direct on the landline.
Yep.
You can't, you know, it's... You're going to have to embrace change in technology. Embrace change in...
At least for right now, it's here to stay.
But other than that, I mean, that was well said. In the comments down below, let us know what you think about AI and technology in general and the advancements of it. And if you have any questions, just put it down in the comments down below. This has been another episode of Driven. My name is Juan.
My name is Alexis.
And we'll see you on the next one.